Hello all, this is Praveen Bakala. In this short video, I would like to share some of my personal experiences on mindfulness and how this has been transforming my life so far. I would also like to give some tips and tricks on how to easily follow and practice mindfulness in all our daily lives. So let's get into the topic of mindfulness. Like never before, with increased chaos and distractions around the world, there's a desperate need for mindfulness in all our daily lives. Not only in the spiritual space, this beautiful topic of mindfulness has gained traction in all of the leading leadership curriculum across the world, including MBAs. Even in my MBA, this has been one of the mainstream topics in the form of personality leadership development courses. So definitely this has become more important than ever before. And the statistics also show the same. There are increased number of distractions across the world, attention deficit disorders in children, and ultimately there's a loss of purpose in individuals leading to suicides across the world. All this is happening due to lack of mindfulness. And in the trying times of COVID, this has become more and more evident. We brought our work to home, just leading to lesser and lesser mindfulness at homes. We are proud of doing multitasking, but we don't know the consequences of doing these things without mindfulness. So I will start with my experiences with practicing mindfulness for the last couple of years. There's increased amount of patience, focus, calmness in any given situation, and ultimately leading to increased productivity. This is exactly what you get when you start practicing mindfulness in your daily lives. But then to practice all this mindfulness, we should really understand consciously what mindfulness is all about. Let's look at from a different dimension, a path to higher consciousness. In the path of spirituality, you often hear these terms called meditation, consciousness, spirituality, etc. One leads to the other. But these are a bit of heavier terms to process. But there's one fundamental brick that even takes you the first step of spiritual process called meditation, which is mindfulness. So it is such an important building block in the path to higher consciousness. If we look at it in comparison to the heavier words of meditation, consciousness, and spirituality, this is a rather lighter word to process, perceive, easier to understand, and very convenient to practice. Unlike meditation, where you need a lot of setup, calmness, being aloof, time and space, etc., mindfulness has no such limitations. It is very convenient to practice anywhere, anytime, in any given situation. So let us understand what mindfulness is all about from the story of Gautama Buddha, the man and the master of mindfulness himself. I'll cut this story very short. As you all know, Gautam Siddhartha or Siddhartha Gautama in his childhood was in search of an answer to a question called purpose of life. In this search to this answer, he went across the land, mastered all forms of spirituality, of meditation, went into the highest levels of meditation, etc. But after attaining nirvana, the ultimate state of meditation, he himself realized the answer to this ever pondering question called purpose of life. In very simple terms, he stated or he realized that the purpose of life is just about living the life fully and totally in any given situation, which is nothing but mindfulness. It is also a different meaning of spirituality, perceiving things as they come without any expectations, which is only possible when you're untouched by the given circumstances and fully being aware in any given situation. That has turned out to be mindfulness. So Mindfulness is just being able to totally, completely involve in any given situation without any distractions. That is why I use this very beautiful representation of mindful versus mindful when you are in a walk, on a walk in the woods. You should only think of the walk and the nature around you. Instead, if you're thinking about all different things in your mind, this is not mindfulness. And there is a myth that is prevailing across the world between mindfulness and meditation. They are not one and the same. Mindfulness is giving full attention to a particular thought, whereas meditation, the highest form of meditation, is having no thought at all. So basically, mindfulness is one of several ways to practice meditation. So it's a subset of meditation, but not the meditation itself. So if your mindfulness focuses on something, meditation generally focuses on nothing. So that is the basic difference of mindfulness and meditation. So having known what mindfulness is all about, how this is different from the heavier words like meditation, etc., it's time to think and understand how can we be mindful. My answer is simple, just by practicing tiny habits in our day-to-day lives. I'm going to give you some of the tiny habits that you can start practicing to be mindful at your homes daily. So the first tiny habit that you can practice is pick a mindful moment every day. When I say mindful moment, that could be an interesting mindful morning cup of coffee. Just be with it. Have that sip of coffee mindfully, enjoying every sip of it. Have that time for yourself. That 5 minutes, 10 minutes of coffee time is your time. Don't get distracted by anything and anyone. Enjoy every sip of coffee to experience mindfulness. You could also pick up a lunch moment or a dinner moment by practicing mindful eating. After all, we are eating to energize ourselves, so be aware of what you're eating. Enjoy that to the fullest, your meal, or pick a reading moment where you only read without any distractions in a particular day. Or even you could also practice with your kids. Just be mindful by playing with your kids, fully involving in what they are playing at. Just without any gadgets, without any distractions, play with your kids. So in short, you can pick any mindful moment every day to practice mindfulness, and you will realize the full potential and impact that it would make on your daily lives. In other ways, there are also tiny habits where you could practice digital detox moments, where you can completely seclude yourself from the gadget called mobile phone. Or you could also organize better and practice mindfulness. Don't carry your work into your home. You have already carried work to your home, but don't carry into your homes. So organize better your workspaces. Never try to carry your work laptops into your living rooms. That's exactly what I have been doing. I never carried my laptop to my living room so far. And finally, I would suggest to limit multitasking. We know we are all proud of multitasking, but this is not so good. So let us limit multitasking, focus on only one single task at a time. This is how I practiced mindfulness in my own way. So I organized my workspace better, never carried laptops. I even had a beautiful idol of Lord Buddha right in the middle of my living room so that it reminds me of mindfulness. I also teach my kids how to enjoy very small, beautiful, precious moments in our daily lives. I make them sit to enjoy the sunrises. I start my day with beautiful cup of coffee. That is my mindful moment to start with. Even I enjoy playing tennis without any distractions. I also enjoy taking my kid to school and bringing her back from school on the bike, we only enjoy that time with short stories or talking to each other without any distractions. So there are n number of ways that you can practice mindfulness at your home and see the impact that it would make on your daily lives. It is very an essential concept to achieve purpose in life, harmony in life, and also peace in life. So with that note, let's begin 2022 mindfully. Thank you for listening and have a great year ahead.